a couple first here today. First of all, this is the first time I've ever had a game called off, and it's the first time I ever beat the media to the press conference. So now I'd like to know why that happened. Are you guys not doing your job, or
we're out of position?
Out of position? Yeah, well, how about we work on improving that?
We were there for 60 minutes.
Yeah. Oh, you were playing for 60 minutes. I got it. Good. Well, you know, first of all, I would have liked to go back out there and finish the game, and I know our players would have liked to have done the same thing. A lot more players probably would have had the opportunity to play, and some of the guys that were getting to play that we certainly need to play to gain experience would have been able to finish the game. But I think the circumstances were such that we would have had to wait a significant amount of time to be able to go back out there because of the lightning and the storms. So I think everybody made a good decision just to end the game. But I was really proud of the way our players competed in the game today. I thought we went out and improved some as a team. I think we played fast, and I like the intensity that we played with. But I also think that there's a lot of things that we did well, but also some mistakes that we made, which would be, you know, critical. Whether it was what we did right before the end of the half, you know, taking a sack when we could have kicked a field goal, calling the wrong play basically and fumbling the ball on the opening drive of the second half. Some of those types of things are not the kind of things that you'd like to happen, but are opportunities for our players to learn. Amari Cooper played an outstanding game again today, and I thought our offense, we didn't punt all day, but we didn't finish drives in the red area, which is something that we definitely need to be able to continue to work on so that we can get better defensively. We probably played a little better today, but still, didn't wrap up on some tackles and trying to butt people to the ground instead of tackling properly. So those are things that we definitely need to work on and improve. And I think looking ahead, that's what the focus needs to be, for our team, is we need to continue to improve. It was good that we got to play both quarterbacks in the game today, and Blake played well, except for the one play, and Jake got some experience, and I think that experience should help his confidence and his ability to play with a little better rhythm as he gets that confidence. So, but he did some very good things today as well.
Sorry, Andrew.
Just kind of following up on that, how did Jake kind of bounce back from what happened there at the end of the first half?
I thought he did well in the second half. We wanted to go out and start the second half like we were playing a game, any game, whether we were ahead or behind in the game, and we put a pretty good drive together and messed it up down on the 2-yard line or whatever. But we wanted to give both guys an opportunity to play, and I thought Jake, played just as well in the second half as he did the first, and I think he played a little better as time went on. And I'm sure that missing the guy in the flat down in the red zone wide open, nobody feels worse about that than him, and he'll definitely get better because of it.
On the right, Aaron.
I know so many people are focused on the quarterbacks, but up front offensively, they kept the quarterbacks clean today. Just your thoughts on their play through the first 2 weeks.
Well, the offensive line has done a really good job. I think the way we're playing offense now, helps them because, we seldom run plays into loaded boxes, and, that's why there's always a lot of the quick passes and the now screens and, those types of things. And I think there's a lot of things that we need to improve on, but I think our offensive line has done a good job 2 weeks in a row.
Up front here, Mark.
Two guys you got back defensively, Trey DePriest and Eddie Jackson, how they both look and how their bodies respond to the contact.
Well, Eddie, we were going to play Eddie 40 plays in the game. I don't know if he played 40 plays or not. He played pretty close to that probably 35 plus. And hopefully we'll be able to, through, continuing to build up his stamina in practice. A lot of technology now to figure out whether a guy's ready to play or not, and the catapult system that we use allows us to know whether a guy's got the same explosive movements that he had before, for how long. We can evaluate whether he cuts with the same explosive movement off of that leg. And all those things are the same standard before he got hurt. So that system really helped us a lot. It was a medical decision, by the docs that, based on all that he was ready to go. And, he made some good plays out there. And I'm sure the more he plays, the better he'll get.
Kevin, please. Trey, please.
Nick, we see this happening on social media during the game. Some of your fans taking sides in the quarterback competition. What would you say to anyone who is taking a side?
I really don't care which side they take. The only side that matters is the side we take, which is me, our staff, the way the guys practice, the way they prepare, the way they improve. And I think we'll need both guys to play well for us at some point in time, during the season. So we'll, continue to try to help both guys develop and be more effective as players relative to things that they need to work on to continue to improve. And this is not one that's, going to be a popularity contest. It'll be what's best for our team, and the decisions and the judgments will be based on one thing, and that's what's going to help our team have the best chance to be successful and win.
All right, two quick, Mike and Lincoln.
First, how's Christian Jones? Seemed like he came out of the game.
He's okay. I think he got like a helmet on the outside of his ankle, just a bruise. I think he'll be okay. I didn't finish answering. I thought Trey DePriest played, well in the game. Certainly helped our stability. His leadership out there certainly helped our stability in making adjustments, and we didn't have nearly the mental errors that we had in the past. But there's definitely quite a few things that we can continue to work on and continue to do better. But I thought the players played with more confidence and more poise today, and I think Trey's presence probably had something to do with that.
Last one, Kevin.
I know last week you went no huddle, but didn't really go at a big pace. It looked like early on you were wanting to play with pace in that first drive. Did it help you? Did it get kind of everybody into the flow a little bit?
Well, I think that it really helps the quarterback. Lane does a really good job of managing Blake. The calls are easier for Blake. And we have more time when we get out in the formation to be able to decide what we want to do. And it just makes the game a little simpler for him. So we'll continue to do it. I don't think we really planned to go fast in the beginning, but it's like I always say, you can always go faster when you're on the script. All these teams that we play that go no huddle, the beginning of the game is chaotic because the coach already knows the first 15 plays he's going to call, all right, and the players know what's coming next. So it's just natural that you got to be able to play through the script, and I think that was probably our case today too. We practiced these plays and knew what we were going to do, and so you just roll a little faster, and then once you start calling plays, it becomes more situational. So you slow down, and you only got a few plays that you're really trying to go fast. So, but I thought we did a really good job of moving the ball. But it's like I said before, we've got to finish some of these drives in the red zone.
Thanks, Coach.
All right, thank you.